think it's pretty obvious that Lane Kiffin's sign stealing allegations, if you want to call them that, were just to take away attention from him, Florida job. Which, by the way, we should probably just say thank you to Florida for, you know, causing all kinds of ruckus down in Oxford this week as people worry about whether or not he'll be their coach for the future. Distractions are good if you're Oklahoma.
Well, dumbass.
Good morning, and welcome back. Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. Before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Caught my eye there, Benji. It's an awful lot of chat there that early. Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going? Logan Licky, Benji, Brandon Snake. Welcome into the show. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. Shout out to our friend Really Flawed. Oh, she's been going through a little bit. She's just tired. I'm thinking about her. Just wanted to say hello. Hope everything is good for her. All right. Lane Kiffin. Talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about, we're going to go, whoa. This year going too fast. Whoa. What are you talking about, bro? A little over halfway, yeah. Listen, it's gone real fast, right? You know, it feels like, during the off season, we get all pissed off about, hurry up and get here. And now we're wanting it to slow down a little bit. Although it's getting to be good, man. This is getting to be the good time of the year. There's a lot of really good games coming up this weekend. There was a lot of really good games last weekend. Oklahoma's got good games every week to finish this thing off. Lots of cool stuff, man. I'm excited, man. I am excited about what's going on. Sooner Freak, May, Tubby 12. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. Way too fast. Lane Kiffin is Mitch Bade. Who the fuck is that? What? I don't know who that is. Weather's changing. What are you talking about the weather, bro? Also going to be bad wind this weekend. Or there's going to be some bad weather Friday, I believe. Or at least inclement weather at nighttime or around game time, I guess, because they were worried about they're moving up that Mustang Bixby game to Thursday. So see how that goes. Heard it started raining tomorrow through the weekend, says Brandon Snake. Oh, shit. So no golf? Damn it, man. That kind of sucks. Oh, well. We'll see. That's no good. All right. How's everybody doing this morning? I don't know, man. We can talk about pretty much whatever y'all want. It's the morning show. I mean, definitely going to get into a few things like we got the top 25 poll that Benji, you haven't been voting in. What the hell's the matter with you? I've been sending you damn email to vote and you're not getting it done. What's your deal? Goated, what's up, my guy? Man, it's early for me to think about that kind of shit. That has to favor OU, wouldn't it? I would think. Yes, I would think. Let's see. Why are you not voting, dude? Don't tell me sorry. Vote. Fuck. What the hell's the matter with you? That's 2 weeks in a row, by the way. Pretty sure. Collins McDaniel, where you been? The homie, haven't seen him in a while. Goated? Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, listen, as I said, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. We'll get into the poll a little bit uh, here in a few minutes. Obviously, the rankings are so weird because you got so many of them from so many different creators slash media companies or whatever. You just don't really know what's been. And Brandon Snake, you've been missing out on yours too. I get it, man. Everybody's busy. I understand. It just here's the thing. It makes it's tough. I mean, I got to put it takes some time, so for me to get it all put together and everything and get it sent out. So I just want to make sure everybody's kind of get into it. But I don't get the email anymore. You don't? Uh send me your I'm just to make sure I'm sending it to the right person. Send Make sure you send me your email and I'll put it on the list because I may be just screwing that up. Send me your email again and I'll do that. S4L. My bad. You missed 2 weeks also, Brandon Snake? You guys are pissing me off. All right. Okay. No worries, no worries, no worries. Scott Christopher. What's up, my guy? Okay, cool. Hey man. Listen, I just wanted to be more representative of like our creator family, plus also, just the people that watch this show a lot and what they believe in. You know, I like it. I like that we have people from different fan bases that watch the show and get into it. And I know you guys all know ball. So, we kind of complain about the AP poll a lot and the coaches poll, was trash. So I really want to look at it as it's just kind of an alternative poll in what we know is going on. If you watch, I know that you guys watch football and watch not just the Sooners or not just Texas. If you're Ben G, I know you guys watch ball. So I like it that we get, a lot of different angles. And I mean, I look at the ballots every week and, they're definitely, you'll see a lot of stuff that's pretty similar, obviously, but it surprises me the differences in some of them. So it's actually kind of cool, man. I think it's awesome. You know, I like it. Usually work mine out Sunday morning. Yeah, first thing. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, as long as I have it in on Sunday morning, which I forgot to do, but I'll have it ready to go this time around. I guess the good thing about Oklahoma playing early, if it is going to be raining, especially, it'll be done pretty early, and we'll be able to do our after show and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be heading out probably this evening or early in the morning at the latest, so I can get out there and watch that Mustang game. Want to check that out with them in Bixby. Should be a lot of fun, and want to go check out Jaden. Man, he's been playing fantastic. I've been watching. I've caught the last couple of his games on because they show it on Facebook and stuff. So pretty awesome. But yeah, they're pretty good, man. Been pretty good. David Moyer, what's up, my guy? What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, yeah, let's talk a little bit about this Lane Kiffin stuff. And we talked a little bit about it last night, and I got over there and looked at some of the different stuff from the Auburn guys. I more look at that as, yeah, they're gonna the Zach Lockerby dude. I didn't even hit him up because I'm sure he's probably pretty busy, but I didn't really care what he had to say after I watched his show. His opening was like taking a shot at OU, but it more I think they're taking a shot at Hugh Freeze about it, which I think is what basically what Lane was trying to accomplish, right? He's trying to accomplish taking that spotlight off of him being the number one candidate in Florida. And there's been a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of signs towards him possibly taking that job, which has everybody in Oxford freaking out about the possibility of him doing so. They're writing columns about it, they're talking about everything. He didn't want to talk about the shit, I can guarantee you. He certainly doesn't want to distract his team, but that's what is going on. So my feeling is, I mean, got to give, if you know a Florida Gator fan, give him a big old hug and tell him thank you for causing a distraction this week. I'm so glad that they fired Billy Napier this week and started talking about this because, look, going to come into this game feeling like, he's talking about everything. Yeah, I mean, everything but this game is basically what's going on around there. And that's a good thing for OU. They're going to be locked in and focused. I think that him saying that about them getting signs and stuff like that has definitely stirred up the OU fan base. Not going to have to worry about whether or not they're going to be loud and crazy even at 11 in the morning. So it feels like it's going to work out. You know what I mean? Um, they moved a lot of the high school games to Thursday. Yeah, apparently I guess it's going to be the weather's going to be for real, huh? Starting Friday. They did move it to Thursday. Yeah, so I actually talked to Jaron yesterday about it because he let me know that they were moving. So yeah, they did it yesterday of all things. So it ought to be pretty good one. Saying oh, you still signs right before he heads to Gainesville. Yeah. Somebody said, uh building a some about building the SEC's wanting that, to build this rivalry, quote unquote, or whatever between the two schools. But so, this is a good way to get it done, I guess. Although if he's not there, I don't know what it does for it. It's still weird to me that's one of the three um, protected rivals starting off. No, no, Neil's not going to OU. I'm going to watch Bixby and Mustang play on Thursday night, and then I'll be at the. I'm pretty sure I'll be at the OU game. I'll be at the OU. I will. But it is a distraction from his Florida hiring attempt. But it's a distraction for his team because no matter what, you can't stop all that stuff from being talked about. It's all they're talking about around there. And it's whether or not he should take it. You keep hearing that, if you're listening to like creators in Oxford and stuff, they're talking about how Florida isn't any better of a program, particularly at the moment, than what it is at Ole Miss. I tend to agree with that part. Particularly at the moment, I would say. I think overall, it's probably they've got national championships, so they're able to say, hey, we're one of the. I wouldn't call them a blue blood or anything like that because I don't define blue blood by winning a championship. I would call them one of the more premier schools. But here's the thing: if you actually go and get into the playoff at Ole Miss, you're right there. You're one of the premier schools in the SEC. Then, right? If you make a playoff appearance. I don't know that and hell, will they be super close right away at Florida if he goes there? Probably, because he can probably recruit a little better. But the truth is, they have money in Oxford. You know, he's getting the athletes he wants. I don't see that it's a problem. Um, and things aren't really the same as they used to be with the NIL and transfer portal and everything else. You can make it work in a lot of different ways. You doesn't have to be um your accurate top 25 poll has been submitted. You're a little late. Hopefully, it didn't throw it off. Too bad if it did. Um, he was complaining about having to play OU for the next 40. Yeah, listen, coaches do that part though. Listen, I'm a fan of Lane Kiffin to be honest with you. This doesn't bother me at all. Um, and it didn't bother me what he had to say. I think he was trying to basically put it as look, he didn't want to have to, like you just said, I don't think he wanted to play Oklahoma every year because, their other one, I believe their other one is LSU, is it not? Isn't that one of their other all the time games? So they got LSU, Oklahoma, and then, of course, Mississippi State. That's kind of a tough schedule for them if you look at them historically, before he got there anyway. Because they've only had a couple of years here and there of being decent, to be honest with you. They just haven't been great. He would have better resources at Florida, but he would be under heavy, heavy pressure to make them a contender day one. Oh, no doubt. Well, and again, this is the difference between. Don't get it twisted though. They're talking about firing, Mark Stoops at Kentucky because of the way, and he brought that on by winning 9 games a couple of times, and you know what I mean? He kind of brought that on himself. What do you think Lane's done? He's been on the verge. They've spent money on it. They've always been willing to spend money, and even back in the Bagman days. But is there more pressure? Because Billy got 4 years. He hadn't done anything in 4 years, and he got 4 years, almost 4 years full. How much more pressure could it possibly be? I don't really think that it is. Like I said, Kentucky, obviously, they've given Mark Stoops a long time, but now they're ready for him to get out of there. And I don't know that they're going to be able to pay his buyout or whatever, but it looks like they may. And everybody's getting the same amount of money. It's going to be $100 million in the next couple of years. So I don't know that any job in the SEC is going to be any more. I don't know. They're going to be any more patient because they're paying players and everything else too. I don't know. I think there's always going to be those that are willing to pay up and those that aren't. But with the way that the big explosion of money is going now, when Vanderbilt starts getting good and they're willing to spend money to get guys in the portal and do stuff like that, and they've upgraded their coaching staff up beyond Clark Lee, they're a contender. That would tell me that I don't know that there's a ton more pressure anywhere. I just don't. I think if you're in the SEC, there's going to be pressure no matter what. I just think there is. Okay. He lasted as long as he did because of the contract. Well, all right. What is that? But do you believe that it's going to be? They're going to have to pay the next guy more. If they're going to get Lane Kiffin, it's going to be upwards of $13 million to get him, right? Which means Ole Miss is going to have to bump up his salary or do something like that to keep him. I'm sure. They've all got the same. Jimmy Sexton's working that all out, but the contract that they're gonna pay is gonna be more. So how much? How much more pressure could there possibly be than there already was? I don't agree. Uh. Yeah, well, I guess it's a good. Hank, I tend to agree. I don't. But also, you got to kind of look at it as where do you believe that you can really get it done, right? If he's able to get to the playoff, which he's in line to do it this year. If he gets to the playoff, I think it makes it hard for him to go. Number one, because you're going to be, you don't have time to build the roster, because you're going to be playing into January. It doesn't start. Well, I guess it starts in December, so not necessarily, but if you make a run, and the thing is if he gets to the playoff at Ole Miss, why does he need to go to Florida? Why? Will he get better players there? Maybe, I guess. Not necessarily, though. I don't think that he's struggling in that department, even if he tells you that he is. I don't think he is. I think that he's got a beat on. He's able to get guys from other states. He doesn't just recruit Mississippi. In fact, a lot of the guys he gets aren't from Mississippi, which is a kind of a switch for Ole Miss, right? And generally speaking, the best players from Mississippi don't go to Ole Miss or Mississippi State, which is why they're hadn't been good historically. That being said, you go to a playoff now, why would they go anywhere else? You know, that you can keep more of those guys. To me, I don't know. I agree with you in some respects. Pride should drive him to want to do it in Oxford. Okay, cool. What does my spy say in Oklahoma State camp? Who the next head coach is? I don't have a spy there. Are you talking about Okie like Cody? I don't think he knows. I think that they've been talking about the latest thing that he said is, I guess Gundy is. I don't know. Let me finish this and we'll get into that. That's kind of funny though. My spy. Yeah, it is less pressure at Ole Miss, but again, I don't know how much less pressure he's got now. I mean, think about it. They spent a lot of money in the portal last year, and they were saying, "quote all in, pushing all in to get there to the playoff and see what you can do." Right? Try to win a championship. They didn't make it in. They they still spent quite a bit in it this year. They didn't do as much on the defensive side, which I think is what makes them weaker. I expect Oklahoma. We'll get into kind of breaking down the game here in a little bit. I expect Oklahoma to win this game, um, because I think that you're going to shut them down by and large, and their defense is not good enough to really stop to really stop you at Oklahoma if you just play pretty well and don't um and just don't turn the ball over and do some stuff like that. What do we got here? Super chat from Logan Litkey. Pretty interesting. Kiffin made a comment that he wears the white visor because of Steve Spurrier. Pretty convenient. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Logan. I would agree. I think a lot of people were wearing the visor because of Spurrier. So did Bob Stoops, you know? Um, yeah. A lot of people wear the visor. And he was pretty much the first one that did that, right? I mean, he was. The old ball coach. But I mean, as much as people talk about Florida and being more prestigious, I mean, they've been good during the Spurrier years, and then they were contenders basically only during the Urban years. Dan Mullen had them headed back in that right direction. They got rid of him, which was stupid on their part. Of course, he said something dumb about recruiting, but I don't know, man. I really look at it as it's definitely more volatile for him to take. Probably more volatile. They will put a lot of pressure on him at Florida, but I don't know that it's a lot more pressure than you're going to get anywhere in the SEC because at this point, with the money being what it is, I think it's going to. I mean, the competition level is only getting bigger, and with Texas and Oklahoma coming into the league, it's harder to compete for sure because they have a lot of money to put into it as well. But again, I think that there's a lot of money at Ole Miss. People don't get it twisted. They've got money. They got a lot of old money. Was talking to Dent about it the other day. They've got a lot of money. I don't know that it would be a ton less pressure. Now, he's already got it going there, and I think they love him there. They let him do what he wants to do. He doesn't get mauled everywhere he goes in Oxford. I mean, they let him kind of live a normal life, as normal as you can have there. Um, yeah, I mean, it's definitely you'll be more in the fishbowl in Gainesville, but I don't know. I don't think it's a ton different. I really don't. And especially if you make a playoff run, in which they're getting close. I mean, he had 11 wins one year. He's the only guy with 11 wins in the history of the program, but he's had 10 wins pretty much every year except for that first one. I expect him to do pretty well. I expect him to do pretty well. But we'll see kind of what happens, man. Rather Lane stay at Ole Miss than UF because he attacks the portal well. Mix in that with US Brandon State would be lethal. Yeah, I guess getting more of the Florida guys to come to Florida, it could be more. Billy's done a good job of recruiting that state though as well. I don't even know that it's as much about that, but I think maybe you do a little better recruiting or whatever at Florida. But again, then you don't get to lose games that you shouldn't lose. And if you look at what Lane's done in the past, what is SEC Mike calls him Lane Whiffin all the time because he's always missing. You know what I mean? Look, I get it. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a damn good coach. I think it's one of those coaches that, if BV didn't work out or after a while, that's the kind of guy that, yeah, maybe you'd want to bring him to Oklahoma. Um, he'd be one of those guys that I could see being on the list or whatever. At this point, as I said the other morning, I don't see this happening. I think Oklahoma is already keeping Brent Venables. And just because of the fact that you've already got a lot of this silly season stuff going on with coaches hiring and firing, he went to 6-1. His defense is as good as it is. If they don't get to the playoff this year, it's going to be because they're not quite there on the offensive side and they just need to make some adjustments. It's not going to be any other reason. I think you got to keep him. So I think that that's what's going to happen too. I could be wrong, but I do feel that way. In the end, I don't know, man. I feel like it's definitely something that he was trying to do was just take the spotlight off of that. I don't know that if you really want that job, I don't know that making the playoff is going to be good for him. So, because if you think about like what happened with Lincoln, I have contended this, and I'll say it again. I believe that Lincoln did not want to win his last year at Oklahoma. You could tell his coaching was definitely off the mark a little bit. They were in a lot of close games that didn't seem like they should have been close. And I would go back and watch the Bedlam game. They were running the same damn play that entire last drive that Caleb was getting chased all over the damn field, and still it's the same play. So, and still they almost won it because obviously he didn't have the kids involved in that. He just was trying not to. He just wasn't trying as hard as he should. Because he knew that even winning the Bedlam game and going back to the Big 12 championship is going to cut into his recruiting time and being able to build that team at SC that he was already recruiting, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think that you kind of run into that same deal if you're Lane. You can't walk away from a team that's about to be in the playoff. Can't do it. So I think it would keep him from going. It would keep him from going there, and maybe that works out. Maybe that works out for everybody, but I don't know. Fans have lost their minds. What? Let me go back. Let me go find that real quick. Fan bases have lost their minds. We're 6-1, and fans wanting to fire coaches at OU. Ohio State fans wanted to fire Ryan Day for losing to Michigan, even after he wins the national championship. I don't know that a lot of them are wanting to fire him after the Natty. And if they were, wow, I haven't really heard that. They were wanting to fire him before they won the Natty, for sure. For sure. And yes, Ohio State fans are fucking crazy. Really crazy. They're definitely way out there. Not so far out compared to Oklahoma, but I tend to agree. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Monty. I remember that. I remember. Got on his knees in 2021 midseason for USC. That's why he missed a day of practice the week. Took our first loss to Baylor. Correct. Yeah, so I remember that one was like, but think about it for a second. If you think about what was going on there, it was already going on well before that one, right? Because think about think about the Texas game. 28-7, greatest comeback and all that, right? But the year before that, without Caleb Williams, Caleb Williams wasn't there, and they pulled Spencer Rattler out of that game, and they were still winning the game. They weren't even losing the game yet. Certainly, they weren't losing by 21, right? And he pulled Spencer out, puts in Chandler. He comes back in a little later. When he settled down, they win the game, right? Okay. Then the next year, you wait till it's 28-7 to put Caleb in? Come on. Close game with Tulane. Close game with West Virginia. West Virginia had, 2 wins that year? You beat them 15-10. Tulane, you beat, 40-38, some shit like that? Yeah, he was throwing shit he was trying to throw games the entire fucking year. The players just didn't know any better, and they were too good to lose. You know? Mordecai. It was Mordecai, wasn't it? Tanner Mordecai. Yeah, he wasn't better than Caleb Williams, though, and he went in early. Wasn't Chandler, yeah. I always thinking Morris. Anyway. Yep. Winning and pulled Spencer. But he wasn't playing very good, right? It was just, yeah, whatever, man. Who does have the craziest fans program when it comes to being patient? Man, there's right. That's what I'm saying. And think about the Kansas game. I mean, they were about to lose that damn game. And if it hadn't been for Caleb, I don't know how he even managed to do that, pulling that ball out of Gray's stomach and then taking off for that on that 4th down. If that doesn't work out, I mean, people forget they won by 10, but they weren't going to get the ball back. And that was a 4th down play. They're about to lose that damn football game. So, I mean, got away with that one. Now, what happened with Baylor? I mean, Aranda had him for the last 2 quarters. That even that year before his first year, you could tell he figured out what Lincoln was doing because he was locking them up then in that second half. They didn't play very good that year before against them. This one, they had Caleb on the run in that one. Played like shit. But there's no way they should have lost the game to damn Okie Light either. As good as Okie Light was with their defense, there's no way they should have lost that game. They had a 10-point lead at the end of the 3rd there. No way. He was, dude. Wow. Yeah. Listen, he's as good a player I've seen as a freshman in a really long time, man. Especially as a quarterback. You know? He definitely special player. Special player. Yeah, I think he did too. One, and you remember Roy, I mean, they know that Roy Manning they said he was recruiting as early as Iowa State is when that one recruit was saying that they started talking about going to SC instead of Oklahoma. So we knew it was going on. I mean, there's no 2 ways around it. In any event, I didn't mean for this to turn into that conversation, but in the end, you kind of have to look at it in terms of there's a lot of that kind of what? Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. Ugh, forget all that shit. And that's the whole thing. You had one where Lincoln was throwing the game. I will forever believe that he was coaching to lose that game. And then you got one where the Big 12 was officiating to beat Oklahoma. And they'd been doing it for that. I mean, we know that they'd been doing it since the year before. What was it? Texas and Oklahoma had a combined 3 holding calls that went against one of their Big 12 opponents the year before that. 3. 2 of them went to Texas. Oklahoma had 1 called against them. 1. Or 1 called against an opponent of theirs. It was wild shit, man. Mhm. Oh, he was more than checked out. Yeah. Yeah, he was more than checked out. Same team that came back from 21 that year, couldn't score against Kansas and West Virginia. Right. Right. They weren't scoring against Texas either until Caleb went in. They weren't. Some wild shit, man. Eh, nah. A natty. I know what you're saying, a natty. They're gonna win one soon. I think they're gonna win one soon. Yeah. You know, somebody was watching one of the videos I did where I took my victory lap. I think it was 2 years ago now. It's still showing a year, but it's almost 2 years, I think. When I was kinda talking about, "Oh, who told you that, he was a fraud?" We did. You know what I mean? But somebody commented on that last night, a USC fan talking about, "Man, this is spot on. I know it was from a while back, but this is spot on for right now." I don't know that they're gonna fire the man. We know they have the money for it. They could, and it makes you wonder if they will, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoff. I don't think they are. They don't have a tough schedule left, but they definitely have a tough one. Um, it's our damn fans that need a nanny. Crucifix Autumns. Yeah, for real. Yeah, the last 2 years of the Big 12, they were getting screwed with. And now and Texas made it through. I mean, shout out to them, but there was a couple of plays that there were some play calls, feels like the Iowa State game could have went the other way because of officiating, and then although the Houston game kinda went in Texas's favor, which, wow, they got away with some shit there. I don't know. Anyway, think we will ever get OSU back on the field again. That loss bugs me, at least when we lose to UT, we get another shot. Um, yeah, I do. I think so. I think that they're whoever this new coach is, if whoever the new coach is doesn't want to play Oklahoma year to year, they shouldn't want him. They shouldn't. I think that it's taken their competitive drive away from them a little bit, along with they got to play the game right for sure. But not having something to shoot at like that, y- I said it beforehand, before it ever stopped, that it was going to hurt them, and it did. It immediately did. Immediately did. Hell, Oklahoma won a Big 12 game since the last time they did. It's wild. They need to do it. Now, they've got a schedule, they've got Alabama lined up, and I think they've got a couple of Power 4 games that are coming up in the next few years. I think going up to almost to 2030, but maybe not. That they may or may not be able to get out of or want to. But to me, I believe that they should want to do it. And especially when you start looking at the fact that if you're the Big 12, you need to play as many of those kind of games as you can, because they only got in one team into the college football playoff last year. I don't know that they'll get any more this year. I don't know. I think a lot of it will depend on Notre Dame moving forward. I think a lot of it would depend on how many you get in from the SEC and the Big Ten. If you end up with 4, and some people are saying the SEC might get 5. If you get 5 in, they're getting 1. They're getting 1, which it is what it is. But you're gonna have to fix that strength of schedule shit if you're the Big 12. You can't do it, and the Big 10 is gonna have to do that too. By the way, they're gonna have to do it too. Texas about to catch 2 consecutive L's. Are they, Monty? What you got? The karma Riley is catching is that you don't hear his name in NFL circles like he did when he was at Oklahoma. So if he does get canned, what's his next move? Well, if they fire him, what does he care? He's got 80 million coming to him still. He don't give a shit. He'll go be a coordinator somewhere. I mean, Lincoln, you shouldn't feel bad for him at all because he's going to be fine. You know? I mean, and to be honest with you, there's probably, I've been hearing a lot of the creators talking about Cliff Kingsbury at Florida. If they weren't able to get Kiffin, that would be like a lot of guys' first choice. It would be go after Cliff. Cliff is shitty. Terrible as a head coach. Terrible. And he could go back and be a head coach, probably even at a place like Florida. How the fuck do you fail up to that when you've never won more than 7 games as a head coach at the NFL or college level? With Baker and Patrick Mahomes as your quarterbacks at Tech, couldn't win more than 7. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He could also work for ESPN. Could he? Is he that? I don't know. I don't know. Do we not just reach out to Okie Light to play the game again recently? They did, but that was apparently. So what I'm hearing is that it was Josie reached out to him when Gundy started talking about playing Bedlam as like a spring game. Remember, he was talking about the spring game Bedlam, which nobody at Oklahoma wanted, but that made Josie approach him about let's do it again for Bedlam for the in the regular season because we needed a non-conference opponent and you have to have a Power 4 non-con opponent no matter what. That's part of the deal at in the SEC. That's part of it, and they didn't want to do it. But Gundy was still there during that, so I think it could change now. I think it could have changed now. Let's see. Well, to me, somebody they're going to bring it back, Donald. When is going to be the question, right? It's going to be now. I think that a lot of OSU fans don't care if it comes back or not right now, but keep on losing like this, and they're going to want it back because I think it's a big reason why their program is tanked right now. They don't have, there's something to a rivalry that you have to get up for this game or you're going to get your ass whipped because they usually do. But it definitely helped them be more competitive around the rest of the Big 12 for sure. And right now, they're not competitive in the Big 12. Not. Hell, they couldn't beat Tulsa, and Tulsa's a trash team too. They're not doing worth a fuck in their league, and they beat them. Eesh, not good. Not good. But I guess they think they're going to get James Franklin and get him and they're trying to Cody's floating the 2-for-1 with getting Franklin and the what's his name, the DC as well. Like that's gonna happen. I don't know. I guess they approached him. I don't know how. And apparently Gundy, Robert Allen said something about Gundy basically warning James Franklin off about the job, which is wild. I don't know that I see James Franklin as much of a fit in Stilly, but I don't know. It feels like he's gonna either get Florida or Florida State to me. Again, I know everybody seems to think that Lane is going to Florida, but there's something in me that says, first of all, Scott Strickland doesn't want to hire Lane Kiffin. He doesn't. So they got to fire him or talk him into it somehow. Number two, I think that I don't understand why nobody wants him in Florida. Because to me, if you go after a guy like that, like James Franklin, they owe him all that money. You can pay him a small amount. He can get his assistants paid shit tons of money. And because, they're going to have to make up the difference of that $8 million that he was making at Penn State. So it's a good deal for him. It's a good deal for him. And it's a good deal for whoever hires him too. I think he ends up back in coaching immediately. Franklin and FSU too, they were talking about him as well. Correct. Yeah, because Norvell, the thing about Norvell is they owe him a shit ton of money too. So right now they're saying they're dedicated to him and gonna give him time. But you just lost to Stanford, bro. It's not good. Ugh. Here we go. Jim Knowles, yes, him. That's why he was on the tip of my tongue. I was just informed that we're number 75 in offensive, but in what? Let's take a look. Hold on a minute. 75th on offense. That's probably in yards a game. Let's take a look. Why does this bother you so much? Though, anyway, Bob, it shouldn't bother you. Number one, let's take a look. All right, so points per game. So why is it so hard to find? NCAA stats here. Come on. All right, so total offense, Oklahoma is yeah, that's probably right. Total offense would be yards per game. Total 70, actually 73rd, tied for 73rd. Now, scoring offense. Let's look at scoring offense. Probably about the same, but yeah, 70th in scoring offense. 28.7 points per game. But but what you need to look at is what does that make them in the SEC? In the SEC, there's one. It's early to really talk about this, by the way, but they're Makes them like ninth, I want to say. Ninth or 10th in the SEC. I mean, okay. Here's it. So what are you getting at? So didn't we all go crazy when our D had that kind of ranking? I think that we would have loved to have had Oklahoma's defense be ranked somewhere in that neighborhood during those years that they had the top offense in the country. They were usually in the hundreds. They were usually in the hundreds. And here's the other part. It's pretty early to do that, and you have to consider, like, for instance, who is let's go through these schedules here. Who in the hell has who has Ole Miss played? They've played Georgia. That's probably the best defense they've played. Okay. And you know, in the end, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that, I mean, they didn't do anything in the Texas game, offensively speaking, but they're averaging 28.7 points per game, and they're only giving up 6 points a game or 8 points a game, something like that. So let's go back to that. So if your average is, bruh, I love it that we get so wound up about these one little things, these little deals. Let's see scoring defense. Oklahoma's number 2 at 9.3 points per game. 9.4 points per game. They're number 1 in the SEC, number 1 in the country in first downs given up. So if you're not even getting first downs, they've given up 66 total points. They've forced a lot of punts, almost that many. I mean, 28.7 points per game is the only number that really matters. So if you just hold everybody, I mean, if you continue to hold people under 20 points a game, you're going to win these games. Rankings, I mean, the rankings don't really mean shit. I mean, it matters what your opponents are up. What are they going to do on it? Thank you, Monty. Yes. Nobody wins anything being number 75 in either. Okay. It's such a it's not close defensively. Listen, do they need to be better on offense in some of these games? Of course they do. Of course they do. They will be. I feel like they will be. They have to be. And guess what? If they're not there on offense this year, and if you got to think about it, part of it has to do with the fact that they didn't do anything in that Texas game. They haven't been running the ball very well. They've had injuries along the offensive line. They just went in and played an SEC team with and they've played. That's the other thing too. You know what? You're not accounting for who they're playing in the SEC. They've played the best defenses in the SEC so far. Ole Miss is going to be the worst defense that they've played in the SEC. The worst. Wow. And I believe that too. Look, I know you're doing this doom and gloom stuff, Bob, lately. I don't care. And you know what? I don't know that this team is everything that we all hope that it will be by the time it's all said and done. I don't know that it is. I'm going to tell you now, I don't think that I'm going to say this again. BV ain't going nowhere. He's not. I don't think, and I think it's smart to not fire him this year because you have a defense that is the best in the country, and it's going to continue getting better. You just need to make a few tweaks, and your offense is right on track. And I think that they can get on track this year, and they can make a playoff run too. But if it doesn't happen, we're talking about add a couple of players here and there, and it can go down. Get a little better on the offensive line. Maybe make some changes at position, at certain position coaches or whatever. I don't know. But I don't think that I don't think it's as doom and gloom as everybody thinks it is. And I know we're impatient. You're going to have to get some patience. It doesn't just happen because you snap your damn fingers and say, we're Oklahoma. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. And this is the bottom line is what Monty just said too. I just said it. They're giving up 9.5 points a game. If they stay under 20 and they continue to average what they average right now, they're not going to lose games. If they can keep the average below, you can even give up. Yeah, if you could keep your average below 20, who's going to beat them if they continue to put up just what they did this past weekend? Just put up 24 points and keep them below 20. You're going to win the games. Who the hell is going to beat them? It's not going to happen. Yes, it does. Man, you don't play the games on paper, number one. But think about what you just saw from them last week. That dude, Lenore Sellers, is a freaking animal, a monster. And he could do nothing. Nothing. They have a bad offensive line. That's part of it. He hasn't been able to do anything against them. Hell, he didn't do anything against them the year before. Yeah. Look. I didn't say that they could be number 75 and win the damn natty. I'm telling you now, if they continue averaging what they average scoring-wise, they're going to probably be in the playoff. They are. Because the defense ain't going nowhere. And bottom line is, if you can't score, we don't have to score much. I agree with you that they got to get better on the offense, especially at the quarterback position. And certain, they're going to have to be able to throw the ball down the field, which means they're going to have to be able to run it. Again, you have to take into consideration the fact that they've played really good defenses in the SEC so far. Every one of them. That's all that Auburn has is a defense, apparently. They're really good. Texas's defense is still one of the highest ranked defenses out there. They're not giving up many points. Same with South Carolina. They've got two of the best edge rushers in the country. All-American types. They had All-American types last year. Okay. This one that you're going to go up against, your average could come up because they're probably going to score. They're going to score some points on these guys. They may give up a little more, but I think if they can do what they just keep them below 20 points, and you're going to win the game. You're going to win the game. And so if that's the case, look, the teams that are in front of you, and let's just take a look at that. I've got the SP Plus rankings, which are wild to me right now, but let's look at them. I know ball too, he says. What you don't ever take into all you doomers do this shit all the time too, and this is where I'm going to get at. You guys do this shit every time, and it's always that We're not because you're not there right this second, you can't be there. You're not supposed I mean, football teams get better as time the championship teams are getting better all the time. Circumstances do happen, injuries, those things happen. If you're getting healthier as the season goes along, you've got a receiver that's potentially going to be one of the better ones in the SEC. He's just now getting healthy in Giovanni Gibson. He's got something that you don't really have at any of the other receiver spots right now, the height and all that other stuff to go with it. He's a dynamic playmaker. That could add a lot to it. If they're able to keep the offensive line like what they had last week, and the scheme is continually they're doing better with the scheming, why and there's no reason to believe that they won't, then why can they not get better from week to week? And they don't have to get a ton better. They just got to get, and you know what? Let's look at the difference between let's say 30, 40 even, and number 70 where they are right now on this defensive side. Let's just look at that. Scoring defense or offense, I mean. Because this is where you know that there's not a big difference. Okay. So to be in the top 40, you'd have of scoring offense, you'd have to average 34 points a game. So that means it's 6 more points than what they average right now. 6. Which is not much. Let's go to total offense. And I think total offense is a kind of a nothing stat, but we'll go there anyway. To be in the top 40 is 427.3. Oklahoma's at I want to say 375, but let's go look. Yeah, 379, 380. So, I mean, we're not. Yeah, you need to do better. You're going to have to run the ball a little better. And look, I don't think it's that hard to even add that. I mean, we're talking about 40 yards more per game would get them to the top 40, which is way good. What are you saying? Taking who shit? Are you getting all bitchy at me? You're gonna come in here bitching about where they rank and then expect me not to say shit back to you. Because you are dooming. You are dooming. How hard would it be to get 40 more yards a game and another 6 points a game to be in the top 40 of either of those other two, which is what basically we've been saying. If you're a top 5 defense where they're at minimum a top 5, they're number 1 in most categories, right? It's not that hard to get better and by a little bit, especially when you're pretty much kind of done with the best defenses in the SEC. I guess Mizzou is considered one of them. LSU, I guess, maybe at the end. But we've seen that, I mean, Missouri, they've given up a lot more over the last few weeks since they started playing good teams. I don't know. It is dooming to act like they can't do it from here. So don't come in here talking shit to me and then expect me not to say shit back to you. You know better than that, bro. Come on. You know better than that. You need another touchdown. Okay? Yeah, you need another touchdown to be in the top 40. I can see, I mean, can't do that? I don't know that he was a big run guy. He's a quarterback run. Tell him, Monty. Yeah. Listen, and you know what? When you start talking about, I mean, those are some of the best defenses in NFL history right there that Monty's got right there. To put the 85 Bears in there. They had Walter Payton. He didn't score in the Super Bowl. He didn't have to. These defenses, I mean, when the Cowboys were good with Jimmy Johnson, they had a pretty dynamic offense. Shit. Their defense was shutting down the best offense in the league by a lot. Shut them down. The K-gun with the Bills. They got a bunch of Hall of Famers. A shit ton of them. They didn't do shit. Couldn't score. They're going to run the football. They're going to be a little bit better. And look, this may not even be, and I'm going to just say it, this may not be the year that Oklahoma wins it all. It may not. But you know what else? The other thing that nobody's considering is the fact that nobody is as dominant as we've seen a national champion team in the past. You know why? Because the talent is spread out. Show me the other teams in the SEC that are running the ball so well in comparison. In SEC play, by the way. Because if you want to talk about Mizzou, they've gotten 100 yards in the last 2 games. They were leading the country before that. They've got 100 yards in the last 2 games, SEC games. You know? So it has brought parity. And so you can't just look at it and, well, the past, this is what you had to have this number and this number in order to do it. That's crazy. Thank you, Crucifix. I'm a Manny is what it is. I'm a Manny. How do you think we slow down Ole Miss? Same way you slow down everybody else. You keep pressure on that quarterback. You're going to have to get pressure on this quarterback. And he's a good runner. But he's got a little more speed than what Lenore's had probably. But he's not as tough to bring down, and they didn't let Lenore's do shit. I think you got to keep him in the backfield. Don't let him beat you with your legs. They haven't really done that much the last couple of years. The best runners haven't done well. If you turn this into you got to get the ball off, I think that they're going to struggle. I think that you go about it the same way that you've been going about it. Make them turn it in, make them one-dimensional to where they got to throw, and then you've got the most tackles for loss in the country, and you've got the most sacks in the country. That's how you win. That's how you're going to beat everybody. That's how you're going to win next week against Tennessee as well. The game plan's not going to change. And these are the best 2 offenses that you're going to face. If you can even split these 2 games, you're probably in pretty good shape. Now, you may have to, if you split these 2 games, you're probably going to have to beat Alabama. It's not out of the realm of possibility you can do it. Now, they are the best team in the SEC right now. But maybe OU has their number. But to make sure that you get in, you need to be at 10-2. And then, again, this may not be the year for OU. It may not be. But if it's close, and it will be close, I think they have a chance. I think they have a chance to still get in. I think they have a chance to do everything we want them to do. But there's a lot of teams with that chance too. It's gonna depend on health. It's gonna depend on a lot of things for a lot of teams. But I think there's probably 10 teams that could win the thing. There's no way that you've seen a team that you really believe is dominant, because it's just not there. You could say Ohio State. Ohio State hasn't played anybody except for Texas, and eh, you know, Kentucky about beat them, scoring 13. Does it feel like a playoff elimination game? A little bit, yeah, it does. I think it's important. I think it's important. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I don't know that. Look, if you're gonna look at a game that I think you're most likely to lose, I truly think they're gonna beat Ole Miss this weekend. Number one, Ole Miss has. We're just talking about it. They got all this stuff going on. Aside from the fact that they're playing the best defense in the country, they got a lot of shit going on, a lot of distractions. Right? It's a big thing. Hey, Coach Duke, come in. Uh, how are distractions for you whenever you're playing a big game, Coach? Not worth a shit. But on top of that, they got to play the best defense in the country, and I have a hard time believing that team is. I don't think they're going to win. If I'm looking at who's the best team that maybe that you could see them losing to, or you could even say that they should probably lose to, it would be Alabama. But I agree with what you're saying. Goated. Styles make fights, and OU may just kind of have their number. They may just kind of have their number. The weather will have it's going to be good and wet on Saturday too, huh? I love that. I'm just finding this out today, or I kind of found out about it yesterday because I'm going to be going to watch that game earlier, but the one on Thursday night, Bixby and them. So. They also lost a heartbreaker last weekend at UGA. Can you bounce back from that? But if they got to throw the ball to beat OU and it's wet, could make for a long day for sure. Could make for a long day. The ball bounces funny in the rain, though. The ball bounces funny in the rain. And that too, yes. Right. The only game that worries me really about the offense is Bama. Yeah, listen, I think that their offense is legit. I think they've got the best quarterback right now. He's playing the best. Ty Simpson is playing the best. You know, and they listen, Bama has talent everywhere. They haven't put it all together, but they've put enough together to be really good since the Florida State game. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you have to play them there in Tuscaloosa as well is the other part of it, right? I think this is a game that you should win. I think that next week, I think you should probably win the Tennessee game too, right? I do. I don't think they have a very good. Their defense, their secondary is not good at Tennessee. Not their best secondary players are both out for the year. You know, and I mean they're turning the ball over. They've been turning the ball over too. I think they're very explosive and they've run the ball well. Are you going to run the ball on this Oklahoma team? I don't know. I don't think so. But you do have to go to Knoxville. You need to jump on them early. If you don't, it could be a tough day. It's going to be a tough place to play. This is what it is. The Ole Miss's defense is not very good at all. Nowhere. Not good at anything. Toes 54, does that seem a little high? Yes, it does. It does. I see this. I mean, let's look at it. I think continue to run 10 and 11 personnel, spread them out, run the ball, and force the defense to adjust by bringing down a safety. Easy money for Mateer. Yeah. And Mateer's got to get a little swag back and not be afraid to go down the field. And a guy like Giovanni Gibson is a guy that you could throw up a 50-50 ball to. I'd rather see him throwing interceptions on a 25-yard throw. You know what I mean? That's a 50-50 ball than like doing the rest. Hey, I don't know why you're in here barking at me, bro. I don't know what you're doing. I'm trying to explain to you that I'm giving you reasons. I'm not just sitting here sunshine pumping. What am I saying to you? It's not end of subject. Not if you're going to be in here. The fuck you talking about? You're not the only alum in here either. Fuck you talking about? Yes, and nobody said that improvements don't need to be made. I'm telling you that there's a path to make those improvements. That's all. And I also just said this may not be the year that Oklahoma wins the national championship. That may not be what you want to hear. It may be a fact. You don't like it, don't hang. You want the doom and gloom all day long? Go to the Surge guys. I don't give a fuck. What you talking to, bro? No, it's not good. Yeah. See, and that's the other thing. Just the idea that just having this offense last year, how many more games would you win? You probably would have made the playoff just with this offense. In this subject. I know. Come in here talking shit to me. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? I mean, shit. Maybe they get in, maybe they don't. Maybe they get in, maybe they don't. I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying they're the doom and gloomers. And that's a fact.
The show that tells it like it is.
I gotta use the restroom. I'll be back. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, MyBookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie and Hall of Fame College Football. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame. Are you tired of your game day gear looking like it's stuck in the offseason? Well, step up your fandom with Hall of Fame College Football's official Fanatics partner store. Whether you're a diehard Oklahoma Sooners fan like myself, bleeding crimson and cream, or you rep another one of the SEC's heavy hitters, Fanatics has you covered. Shop thousands of officially licensed hats, jerseys, sideline polos, and exclusive championship merch from the entire Power 4 and Group of 6 too. All shipped directly to your doorstep and fast. Want to gear up like your favorite coaches and players? Are you looking for that perfect tailgate tee or a statement piece for your man cave? Fanatics is your one-stop shop for authentic college football gear from everybody that plays the game. So do yourself and your team a favor. Click our link in the description or simply log on to hofmedia.us/fanatics. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. And you can shop everything that you want for the best prices of the day right on our Fanatics partner page. I'm back. All right. Did we lose Bob? Telling me to cut him some slack. What the hell? All we did against South Carolina was spread them out to where it was a 5-man box. Correct. That's right. Makes the blocking scheme easier for the O-line, and so does combo blocking instead of doing RPO. Right? That scheme that we were just talking about. Should have abandoned 12 and 13 personnel weeks ago. They should have never went to 12 and 13 personnel with the personnel they got. Agreed. You got this defense, you just got to move the ball. You got to move the football and run the clock and take advantage of your opportunities afforded you by the defense and this badass punter. You got to do good things like that. And that's it. Look, yep, Duke, the level of defense that they have, dink, dunk, run the football, winning recipe, eats up possession, gives our defense the rest they need. That's it. And the good news is you don't even have to have that much rest for the defense because they're so deep everywhere. And the secondary played considerably better last week. Better and better all the time. The concern has been they hadn't been tested a whole lot. Cam Coleman got him because he's that guy. You're not really going up against a bunch of those dudes. You've got, I think Alabama, again, they've got more of those guys, right? But you don't have to go one-on-one with them either. You don't have to. All you have to do is limit them. You can limit them the way that you limited. Cam had 88 yards and a touchdown. He could have had more, but he didn't. In the end, I'm not even sunshine pumping here. I'm telling you that I don't know what's going to happen. I think that they're good enough to get there if things fall their way. But you're going to have some things fall your way. That's how make no mistake, every champion has to have some breaks fall their way. Every one of them. They generally have to go through some kind of adversity as well. They're going through they've done that. They're still kind of going through it. But Tier should get healthier. He shouldn't break as long as he doesn't break that finger, he should get better from week to week. And you ought to start seeing more something like what you saw in the first 4 games with him. And not the last 2. Although the last game, I was happy that he didn't turn the football over. He made a couple of throws that he needed to make. I'll take that stat line from him all day long if they're running the ball like that. Plain and simple. Did we lose him? No shit right here, buddy. That's right. What is Benji doing? He ain't doing shit. He's just talking. You guys just wanted me to boot him out. You want me to just put him in timeout? I can do that. Benji, you got to take 5. You got to take 5, bud. And it mostly because it amuses me. What voice are you talking about? What voice? I'll wait to put you in timeout. Tell me what voice you're talking about. Oh, shit. If 9-3 gets you in now, and that's the other thing. I'm not sure that I don't trust that happening. It should, with the strength of schedule metric being supposedly meaning more. It should, right? But I don't know. Correct. Assuming that you hold them to, no more than 21, and you can do what you did, and you should be able to put up 24 against this defense for sure. I think if you hold them below 20, 21, you win the game. I think you do. You win the game. I didn't put him in timeout yet. I waited. I wanted to see what he said. No, they haven't. I agree with this. Even the defense, I don't think has played its best game yet. I mean, I see a game where they force a shit ton of turnovers coming. And it could be this is the kind of game that could happen in too, because they're going to have to rely on throwing the ball. And we know that they're not risk averse. They're not. They'll throw it up there. Yeah, but I mean, again, I'll have to wait and see it, man. You know what I mean, Fence Post? I'm gonna have to kind of see this. What? I don't even think he was talking that much shit, was he? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Duke, you're right, man. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he just needs to be a game manager. Agreed. Check it out. Stovall's son is committed to Friends University as a pitcher and outfielder. Awesome. Okie like Cody's kid. Committed. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Logan. That's where he went to school too. He played football there. I can see that too. Okay. Mhm. Well, I think Alabama's playing the best of anybody though in the conference though right now. Losing that game to Florida State, yeah, it didn't help them, but if they continue to do what they're doing, who's going to beat them? Who's going to beat them? Maybe Oklahoma. Maybe not. I think Benji's really an OU fan. I think he. Did she? Man, look, the night after that one, I mean, I was too big. I was busy pissed off, man. I was pissed off about it. So I might have thrown it. Did I throw him out that night? I may have thrown him out. Did I talk about the weather in Norman this weekend? Give us the weather report. I keep hearing it's going to be bad rain and all that. Look, I get it. It's going to be wet. It's going to be nasty. Supposed to rain all weekend, apparently. That's what I'm hearing now. That's good for Oklahoma. That slows down fast offensive teams. Slippery footballs aren't as easy to catch or throw. I didn't even realize that. uh, all the time. All the time, TP. All the time. Rain is coming. That's some. Oh shit, man. From what I saw, let's see. I was looking at strength of schedule. Let me look. It's nothing like what. Okay. Strength of schedule. Ohio State is number 1 in SP plus, which I still think is bullshit, but they're take a look at their overall, all their see, Ohio State's resume isn't as good, so that tells me their strength of schedule is not very good. Let's see. Huh. Where went damn. Okay, so their strength of schedule is 33rd. Oklahoma's, according to SP Plus, their strength of schedule is 33rd overall. Oklahoma's is showing at, I don't know where they're getting this from, but it says 27th overall. Remaining strength of schedule, Oklahoma's is number 2. Theirs is 39th over for their remaining games. So that tells you that Oklahoma's definitely playing a much tougher schedule. That being said, I mean, let's just take a look at who they played. I mean, they played Texas, then they went Grambling, Ohio, at Washington, Minnesota, at Illinois. That's a decent win. And then at Wisconsin, 34-0. I mean, Penn State isn't good. At Purdue, not good. UCLA, they're at home. They're still not good, even though they've been better the last couple of weeks. Rutgers, come on. Then they got Michigan. I mean, they haven't beaten Michigan in 4 tries. So, I mean, they're on the road there. They could lose that one. I don't see them losing any other one. They're in. As far as that goes. But like, look, let's take a look at Illinois. I mean, if you look at their schedule, you got to look at what the playoffs. If we're talking about a 9-3, you're going to have to hope that you get a bunch of those 9-3 teams. Let me talk about the rankings that I got here. These are what we voted for. These are you guys' rankings. If you're voting in the rankings, well, I popped it up there. I don't know why you guys. I did not vote Indiana number 2. A bunch of you guys did. I'm not as high on Oregon as a lot of people either. And they haven't really, I mean, I guess their Illinois game, I don't know. I still just don't buy them, really. A&M at number 3, I have them. I think that's where I had them. Alabama, I had at number 2, though. I had Alabama at number 2. Yeah, they're coming in at 4 here. I think they've been the best team for the last month. So I think they're the best team in the country right now. Ohio State being the defending champs and undefeated, I'm okay with them being number 1. Georgia moving up, okay. Feel like Miami might have fallen a little too much, but I don't know. Georgia Tech, I like Georgia Tech. I'm not sure that Oregon's that good. Ole Miss, okay. I think that they didn't fall probably enough because they haven't really played anybody. Of course, Vanderbilt. I think a lot of Vanderbilt. I like their team. I still think OU should be a top 10 team. I've got them in my top 8. So BYU is legit. That quarterback gets better all the time. Their defense is good. They're the best team in the Big 12. Mizzou, we'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, they struggled to get by Auburn last week. They struggled. Tennessee, they didn't look very good against Alabama. I didn't think they did. Tech, Louisville, I like Louisville. They got a nice defense too, and they got Jeff Brom. That's, you know what? If Florida really wanted to win, they would hire Jeff Brom. That's what I think. Virginia, they're doing well. LSU, I don't think they should still be ranked. Probably, I don't have them ranked. Fine. Cincinnati, South Florida, I like. Michigan, I like the way they bounced back. But I'm not sure what I think of them. Texas, I think they could lose this week. I was glad that we voted in Arizona State to number 25 because I like Sparky. I had to change out the logo like that. Illinois, obviously. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, for you guys that voted for this, and we had 23 voters this week. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good voting. But I appreciate the guys that did, for sure. Georgia Tech is legit. They are. He should be. Yep. Agreed. Oops. Let me go back to this. Virginia fixing to win the ACC. You know, it's funny that even if Miami wins out, there's a possibility that they don't play for the ACC championship game, even if they win out. You had LSU ranked, not UM. Okay. I don't know that. I don't believe in LSU at this point. I don't. You had UVA higher, much higher. Yeah. I don't think a ton of the ACC passed. I think Georgia Tech's very good. I still think Miami's pretty good. I think Louisville's very good. I think they're very good. You emailed to vote. Cool. I'll make sure you get it. Okay. How many ACC teams get in? Probably two. Probably two. Probably two. Because I mean, Georgia Tech, I mean, let's look at their schedule. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a ton. They have a composite schedule. Really? What the hell? Why they got to do it so stupid? All right, let's look at Georgia Tech real quick. We're in week 9. Syracuse, they got Syracuse this week. Then at NC State. Then they're off. Then at Boston College. Then Pitt. I guess Pitt's pretty good, but that's a home game. Then Georgia in week 14. So yeah, they should stay undefeated and play for the conference championship. I don't think they should lose any of these games. Well, not play undefeated in conference play. They probably lose to Georgia. But then, I mean, I don't think Miami's going to really play anybody else either. I mean, let's see, this week they've got Stanford. They'll be pissed. They'll beat the shit out of them at home. Then next week they're at SMU. I mean, they haven't been very good this year. Not like they have been. Then Syracuse at Miami. They lost to them last year, but they don't seem to be very good this year. Then NC State. And then at Virginia Tech. Yeah, they shouldn't probably lose again either. But then Louisville, let's see Louisville too. They got Virginia Tech next week. See this week. Boston College, then Virginia Tech. Those are winter games. Then Cal. Cal's pretty good, but not that good. They should win that. It's at home. They shouldn't lose again, I don't think. They're at SMU as well. Let's see. Oh, Clemson. They got Clemson at home, though. I mean, they could lose that game in week 12. Week 13, they've got at SMU and then Kentucky. Yeah, they should go into they shouldn't lose. So, I mean, Miami could be left out of that. They could be left out of that. Don't you guys think? Kane's game to worry about SMU and Pitt. Yeah, I agree. I'll take the Jackets over the Dogs. Will you? They're pretty good, Isaiah. They're pretty good, but I don't know. They almost got, and it's a neutral site game this time around. I guess they didn't needed the money or something. I don't know, but they're playing at the Dome instead of at home. And they were at Georgia last year, and they almost beat them there. I really like Jeff Brom a lot too. I think that Florida, anybody who's trying to hire a coach is nuts if they don't go get him. Particularly a guy that, you want a guy that's going to be good with quarterbacks. He's freaking legit with quarterbacks. Yeah. Yeah, they should be. They should be. They should be. Hell yeah, they do. He might be, yeah. Florida, he would recruit really well at Florida. I don't know that it's going to get a whole lot better for you at Kentucky. I don't see it. It's a basketball school. For real, for real. Yeah. Eesh. Yeah, that would fuck. Yeah, listen, I mean, I don't like the idea of Florida with him or Lane, to be honest with you. But again, I don't know that Lane is going, but we'll see. Well, I guess I pissed old Bob right off, huh? Calling him a doomer. I don't give a fuck. If he left because of what I said,
soft as baby shit.
gotta be. One of you guys told me to do that last night, didn't you? Yeah, I heard they got a soccer match or something going on that weekend. Oh, man, you can do this.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
Shut up, Crunch. Nobody gives a shit what you think. On my last nerve. I think you're my biggest fan, though. I guess I did. I don't give a fuck. He was talking shit, too. Shouldn't talk shit to me because I'm the last one that is going to let you get away with it. Are they? They're going to cancel that? what would you put the odds at of Drink being at Mizzou next year? Apparently, he's pretty high up the list for Florida. I think you get some musical chairs. I think he could leave, but Mizzou has money to keep him around too. I don't know. I don't know. What would the odds be? I think he's probably 70-30 to stay. I don't think he's that great, to be honest with you. I think he's all right. Nah, he ain't even that good. It's bullshit. They've got an easy record. They got an easy schedule. Fuck them. I'm getting into my Mizzou hate mode. I don't know. I think he's a geeky fucker, but apparently they like him there. Michael McCachran. What's up, man? You think he's a good coach? I don't care what you think.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
You too, Benji. He is. Well, I don't know about that. They did have Bear Bryant there for a while there sooner in Texas. You know, Bear Bryant coached there. So no, not most successful coach yet. La Liga got pissed that the game would have been best. He does. But not sure he's ready for a gig like Florida. I don't think he's ready for a gig like Florida either. I don't think, yeah. He'll have to play they play a schedule at Florida. You know what I mean? But for the dude that left, like Coach would say,
they could not move people on the goal.
You take your top lip and connect it to your bottom.
That's not it. Shit. Wrong one. I can't believe Bob split.
Soft as baby shit.
I had to look around for that one this morning too. Forgot exactly when he said it. I think he played at Purdue, didn't he? Hank, I thought he played at Purdue. Oh, now you'll make me look. All right, man, we're about to get out of here. Nope, he was at Louisville. Yeah. I don't think you can stay for that, right? Yeah, he's legit. Well, they've only given up 2 more first downs than Oklahoma has all year. Only 2 more. They're legit. And Miller Moss, he had Miller Moss looking like, the one ball that he threw that almost was an interception, man, Braun was eating his ass alive for that one. But he don't play. Hey, listen, I thought they played really good football. I watched it basically the whole way to the mountains. I agree. I think he's a good coach. Yeah, they do. They do. But that's and in that case too, if everybody thinks that Drink is really good, he's going to end up probably taking a job and somebody will take that job. Mizzou's in the SEC. But it's always good. It's never going to be. I don't think they're not Ole Miss good. I just don't see it. One bill for this. I didn't even say shit, bro. That was like he's the one getting all butt hurt. It is soft of him to leave. Appreciate it, Boomer Halen. Yeah, I don't know. He went to Vanderbilt, so it makes you wonder. And he's doing well there. They're willing to give him some cash. They're playing the NIL game for him. They've got money at Vandy. they had money before they started making a shit ton from the SEC, you know? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I would think I tell you who Penn State ought to hire. It should be Matt Campbell. That's who they should hire. He'd be the perfect fit there. No. Apparently they want Matt Rule instead, which is wild. Okay. Fair enough. He's also been at Ole Miss, beating a road-ranked SEC opponent ever. Yeah. He beat the shit out of Georgia at home last year, though. The SEC champion. And they didn't just beat him, they beat that ass. Since the first time national champion was crowned? Oh. I don't know. When was it? It's been a long time. That's a good question. That's a hell of a trivia question. Yeah. They don't matter. You got to win. And especially in the SEC. Stop points don't mean shit in the SEC. You're playing on the best teams. Just go win. Just go win the game. Absolutely, I would rather hire Elko than Matt Rule. Oh, fuck yeah. I think Matt Rule is
soft as baby shit.
Completely. And they just went to Minnesota and got drug. At Minnesota. The fuck? How was that? That's true. Georgia Tech in 1990? Is that right? Sark to Florida. I don't think so. I think he may be waiting on the next time Bama opens. Elko is a hell of a coach. He is. He's the guy. Now, here's the deal. Elko would be wise to take that job at Penn State or anything but A&M because A&M is not it. You're not winning there. You're just not winning there. He's always flabbergasted by how doomer they are too, right? A shit ton of them. There's a group of teams and Mizzou ain't in it. Mizzou ain't even in the conference champion talk since like what 1950? It goes back to the late 1800s, and I think it was Princeton. Beta male, yeah, definitely.
Soft as baby shit.
Telling you. This is fucking funny. Could they afford him? How much does he need to make? He hated living in Tuscaloosa. I was leaning to Colorado, but yes, it's been a minute. Maybe. Correct. I said that a minute ago. I said that earlier when we were talking about that very subject, that I didn't know why Lane would take that job because all it is more pressure. I don't think that you necessarily have a better chance of winning. I hope they keep him forever, TP. Forever. Even though Oklahoma hasn't been great against them so far. I tell you what, if they were to take, I was surprised that this one up here saying would it be? Uh, ain't no way that Jimbo. I mean, would they take Jimbo? I'm sure they would. I don't think they're going to have to. I think if they don't get, I think it's right now they're looking at, they're trying to, who was it that I heard the other day? Let me find it real fast. Yeah. Oh, oh, no, can't find it. I thought for sure it was two. No, it sounds like they're. It's probably going to be. Um, damn it, I want to say Zach Robinson is one of the top two, but there's somebody else that they are hoping to get first. And I didn't really understand that. Who is it? Damn it, I'm trying to remember. It didn't seem right to me, but it's apparently who they want. And I think Alex Golish is getting a little traction there too, but I don't know. GJ Kinney apparently is like their third choice, which I don't understand that. He'd be my first if I was okay, like gonna have to settle for a D2 coach. No, they're not. Down for a decade. If they get the right guy, they don't have to be. They don't have to be. I'll tell you what, Zach Robinson to be the right guy because he's going to recruit pretty well. He will tap into their network of guys. They've got money to pay people. They just need somebody with a plan. But they could be down for a decade. They don't have to be, though. Not in this era. Not in this era, they don't. Now, I'll tell you what, to me, they're looking like they're trying to, I mean, Gundy was trying to burn the bastard down completely, and he did. He succeeded. But with money, you can build that thing. Austin is a legit city, woke and conservative. Has it all like a really big city in the world. It's all them Californians out there, buddy. Thought that about Nebraska with Frost. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's not exactly the same though. I mean, we're talking about them in the Big 12 where they can, I mean, they don't lose their pipeline to Texas. And not that they had a huge one, but I don't know. They should be able to capitalize on it. But you could be right, Hankster. Be right. That's true too, right there. They have enough resources to pay though, and to get a good coach and to pay players. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to. And to be fair, I mean, as much as I can't stand Okie Light, that fan base will support somebody who wants to win and somebody who works at it, recruits their ass off. They'll support them. Those happen everywhere too. Benji, what are you talking about? Yeah, at least. Yeah, at least 70-30. Probably about right. Oh, your super chat. Shit, I'm sorry, Bishop. Let me find it. I think is that when I took the quick break? Run them likes up. Thank you for the super chat, Bishop. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody coming in. Sorry, but I'm not sorry that I pissed off old Bob. That was a soft ass move for him to leave. But he's welcome back anytime. Okie Light lost Houston for recruiting, and that hurt the most. Yeah, I can see that because of Houston being in the Big 12 now. It makes sense. I still think they can get the guys they need to get. I mean, when I'm not talking about winning national championships or nothing here, guys. They ain't never done that. So, I mean, let's not get crazy. But compete, be as good as like Gundy was. Sure, why not? Why not? He was half-assed and he did it. Come on. It can be done. He was half-assed. Architect to arsonist, though, I tell you. Architect to arsonist. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody coming in. Let's just kind of to real quick. We've been going at 2 hours. I'm gonna say the keys to win for Oklahoma this weekend is number one. You're gonna have to make them one dimensional, just like you have everybody else. That probably helps. View of the fact that they're coming in, it's supposed to be bad weather. That should be helpful. That's going to be good for Oklahoma. I think that the fact that they're definitely coming in a little, a lot of stuff going on with Lane and the, all the talk about Lane going to Florida. So to me, I would say that that's going to be a key. But I think what you got to do is what you've done with all the good quarterbacks. You got to make them one dimensional. This kid he's a runner. And if he can run, then it's going to open up their passing lanes. I don't think they're going to allow him to do that, particularly with it being a little sloppy. I think Oklahoma wins this one. I'm going to say pretty similar to last week. I think it's probably somewhere around 24-13, something like that. We'll talk about it more on the show with Kate, Chris, and them tomorrow. But I think the key, like I said, just don't turn the ball over. If you can continue to manage the football game, kind of like what Duke was in here talking about earlier. Manage the game. Don't turn the ball over. You don't have to put up 50. You put up 24 again this week, all good. I think you win. And I don't see them giving up more than 20, 21. I just don't see it. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Guys, lay off of the political bullshit talk, please. And the gay, not gay, that kind of stuff. Y'all lay off that shit. That's not good for my channel. Made me have to kick you out of here. Don't do that. Don't do it. 54 likes. It's probably not enough. How many have we had in here? We've only had like 300 viewers. You guys aren't liking me today, huh? 3117 says Hankster. That'll work. Remove that shit, Mac. All right, man. See you S4L. Appreciate you, Boomer Halen. Appreciate all you guys for coming in. Y'all take all that stuff out of there. Don't be saying that kind of stuff. T-Boomer, appreciate you, man, for coming in. Glad you listened. Good stuff. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see you all on the next one.